welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is July 28, 2019, and we're on show 108. Hola y bienvenidos a otra discusión de 5K tenis. Hoy es el 28 de julio de 2019 y estamos en el programa 108.
Actually, it's show 107. 107.
Oh.
Little snafu.
108 is better, though, because the 8s are my number.
She likes to hear that ocho.
Yeah, I was born 8, so...
August 8th. You got a birthday coming up, don't you, Carla?
Yeah.
You have the same birthday as Roger Federer, right?
Yeah, and Agur Aliassime. Ajay, I'm sorry. Aliassime.
Ajay Aliassime.
Yeah.
All right, this will be our second show for the hard court season and our run-up to the U.S. Open. However, haven't we been back on clay for a couple tournaments here?
Yeah, we have been. Yes.
No, all jokes aside, I think Hamburg has been around for a long time, the tournament. Who just won Hamburg? Nicolas Basilashvili, I think?
He repeats it again. He won it last year.
So, interestingly enough, we finished the clay season, and then we went through grass season, as brief as it is, and here we are in hard court season, yet we're back at clay.
Well, the same thing for the women. The Baltic Open, too, is on clay.
Yeah, Sevitsova just won that.
Yeah.
She's a feisty girl. She better get ready for that hard court, though. Kind of slipping back on the clay, but that's all good. We'll discuss a little bit of that moving forward. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You can catch up with Carla and myself on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and as well by email, and all of those links are directly accessible in the description field on the video. A lot of the times we get questions on where the description field is, and generally you can hit a down arrow near the title, like an upside down triangle, and scroll down, and you can see those links there, and they usually come up in blue, and you can click right on them. All right?
If you guys hear some noise, it's because we have the two younger ones that are supposed to be quiet while we're doing the show, but it's tough to do that.
Yeah, so we have 5 kids, hence the name 5K tennis. Gratefully so. The 3 oldest ones, who normally kind of watch the kids stop and start the camera, kind of keep us on track in a sense, are away. So the 2 youngest ones are here at age 7 and 3. So we'll do our best to kind of get through this as amicably as possible. No, I'm just kidding. They're great, but as you know, kids can be kids, and that's part of the deal.
Right.
All right, so moving forward, I want to start this show, our second show of the U.S. Open U.S. Open discussion and the run-up to it, on a couple of updates and laying out the prize giveaways once again. So first of all, we are going to start by updating the rules for the tennis racket giveaway. Again, we are giving away a YTEX 97 V-Core, which is a very nice racket. It has a 4.5-inch grip. It's been freshly strung. And I have hit with it a couple of times to make sure I like the way it was strung, and now it is put up for the U.S. Open. Last major we had where the rules for the tennis racket giveaway was selecting 3 of 4 finalists and 1 winner, and then you would qualify to win it. Again, everyone chose Federer and Djokovic, or Nadal and Djokovic, but mostly everybody picked Federer and Djokovic, which
is going to be the same thing again.
Well, it's going to be the same thing again, and that's okay, or it'll be Federer and Nadal, whoever's on the opposite side, and that's great, but we run out of tennis rackets pretty quick when it's that easy. So we are still going to stick with the 3 of the 4 finalists, but to make it where that couple $100 tennis racket doesn't hurt so bad, giving it away so easily, we are going to stick with the 3 of 4 finalists, but you must select both winners. Okay, the last racket, loved giving it away. It's been shipped out to Matt Cain in London, but it was way too easy to win, right?
Agree. I mean, if you guys enter any contests, any giveaways, they're not that easy to win. They're one of the toughest to win. So, yeah, we have to make it a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and again, these rackets come from our pockets in a sense. At least all those coming up to this one. This one actually was donated to, or donated from a really solid junior player and student of ours, Gabe Perkins, and his mother, Natasha May. And that's a couple $100 piece of equipment. So we wanted to make it a little bit more competitive because it was really super easy to win the last one. We did send it. Hopefully Matt King gets his racket and updates us with the picture.
We do have someone, though, who already updated us with their prize win, I guess, a picture.
Yeah, and we'll show a picture of that as well when we get to the fantasy team update. So for this tennis racket, a YTEX V-Core 97 with a 4.5-inch grip, freshly strung with YTEX strings, is up for the U.S. Open. We will leave it there throughout. Sorry, I forgot to put it
Are
right there.
those strings the ones that we're testing?
Yes, we are actually play testing these strings right now, and they're called Poly Power. Good catch. We had an extra set of them, so we put them on this racket because we love these strings a lot. So there will be a video coming about our play test on our own with these strings when our oldest children return home from Florida. We missed them a lot, so hopefully they're well in Florida. So that is the not fantasy team, but that is the prize giveaway for the U.S. Open in terms of tennis racket. Again, you must select 3 of 4 finalists, both your men's finalists, both the women's finalists. Okay, you're able to lose one of them, but you must select both winners. We all know Novak Djokovic is probably going to win it, and then if not, then Federer might and Nadal might. But I mean, pretty surely you have a 1 in 3 shot of picking a final winner, and then you definitely have a shot depending on draws and how they come out. I mean, if Djokovic plays Federer in the semi, I'm going to give the edge to Djokovic here, and then if Nadal plays anyone on the other half, then he's going to be in the final. I would assume so, but we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute as well. All right, moving forward to the fantasy teams. As you all know, maybe not if you're new to this channel, that every major, about a month before the major, we start talking about players that we think will be dangerous moving into the upcoming major. In this instance, the U.S. Open. So how our fantasy team selections will work for this U.S. Open, slightly different than the last major, so pay attention here, and we will discuss it more as we move forward. So everyone that wants to potentially win either a 5K tennis shirt, that looks just like this. We had a couple of winners here recently, just like this. We had Jordan Nelson in London that won. Scotland. Sorry, that's the difference. Yeah, Jordan Nelson in Scotland won the last fantasy team, elected to receive a 5K tennis shirt. He got that. So if you have a picture, you may want to show that as well. Who was our other winner? Was it Peter Dijkstra?
He never
contacted us on the other one.
Nope.
So Peter Dijkstra, if you're out there, we still do have your shirt. So please let us know, and hopefully you are well. We haven't heard from you since your win. Okay. So what you must do to win either 2 sets of YTEX strings. Okay, you think you can see them on the walls? 2 sets of YTEX strings, or a YTEX shirt or jacket, or a 5K tennis shirt, will be to do the following. You will select 8 men and 8 women, respectively, once the U.S. Open begins. 4 of those men can be ranked, or not, I say ranked, seeded. Last major, we had people that select Felix Auger-Aliassime because he was in the top 20 in the world, something like that, but he was seeded outside the top 20, so it led to an issue. So for the U.S. Open, you'll pick 8 men, 8 women. Only 4 of those men can be seeded in the top 20. So again, wait till the draws come out. And only 4 of those women will be seeded in the top 20. The other 4 men and women must be seeded 21 and up. And the kicker, that's the same rules as always, but the kicker here is that the players that you select ranked or seeded 21 and up will be worth 2 points for every match that they win instead of 1 point. And that way someone doesn't run away with the tournament after selecting the big 3 in Serena like everybody else does. It'll be competitive till the end. So you'll have to do your homework for the U.S. Open for the fantasy. 8 men, 8 women, only 8 of them, 4 men, 4 women, seated in the top 20. The other 8 must be outside of the top 20, and you will get 2 points for each of those. All right, Carla has a picture of Jordan Nelson wearing our 5K tennis shirt in Scotland. What's up, Jordan? Let's go! Let's go! Come on! Get down. You got some pictures of him on the tennis court?
Yeah.
He was out there playing some tennis. You might want to show him some pictures of Jordan getting down on that court. Let's go. What's up, Jordan? Look at that. Doing big things.
Well, it's kind of...
Well, it'll focus. It'll
there
focus
we go.
if you find it. There you go. Look at Jordan doing big things out there.
Some nice tennis courts there,
Get
huh?
down. Courts are gorgeous. Let's go.
Oh, there's a forehand shot.
Look at that. Doing big things.
Oh, there he's going for a backhand.
Oh. Oh.
Do we show him pictures of one of our...
Yeah. So we had a fun time not terribly long ago. It's been about a week now.
Yes.
We had
more than a week, 2 weeks.
We had someone come and visit from Texas. Really good player, Savannah. What's up, Savannah? And we gave her a 5K tennis shirt, so she went back home and represented the 5K tennis shirt back in Texas. What's up, Savannah? What's up? She got 2 of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's up, Savannah? So, loving to see these pictures, everyone.
Okay.
All right. So, again, normally we like to really make the fantasy team rules and the tennis racket rules really quick. We already went through 11 minutes here. So, hey, if you're new to this channel, no, we don't do this every show. But if you left us by now, then I don't blame you per se. But nonetheless, if you want to win about a $200 tennis racket or a shirt, then hopefully you stuck through it. All right? So let's jump right into the show. Enough of all that. Let's jump right into topic number 1. Ready?
Yes.
Let's get down. Come on. All right, topic number 1. Carla and all of you, I know we have joked, and I say we, all of us as one. Okay? I know we have joked about Grigor Dimitrov being better off modeling for an underwear company. But all jokes aside, now at this point, where is Grigor Dimitrov actually headed?
I don't know. He just lost. He did play the Atlanta Open. Lost to the ranked player that was 405, Kevin King, who was actually played for Georgia Tech in the USA. This Kevin King, he qualified to get into the Atlanta Open. So yeah, bad match for Dimitrov. He's now ranked at his lowest, which is 66. He was ranked at his highest, which was number... Hello guys, sorry for the technical difficulties, but we are continuing the show where we left off. We were talking about Dimitrov, how he has reached his lowest ranking, which is now number 66 in the world, when just last year he was number 5, and he had his highest ranking at number 3. So he's dropped pretty low in the rankings lately, and he's had a bad season. 11 to 12. We know that he got rid of
11 and 12.
11 and 12 is his.
So his record.
Yes, his record.
So he's 11 wins and 12 losses.
Yes, so that's pretty tough pretty tough to swallow. We know he's been dealing with a shoulder injury. He's hired Andrew Agassi as his coach or someone that's helping him. I don't know if it's coach. Can we call him coach?
I still haven't seen some title, quote unquote title, where Agassi is his quote unquote coach.
Yeah,
I know
he was there with him in Atlanta.
I know that Lendl just finally had enough of Zverev, but we'll get into that as well. But I don't think there's ever been some quote that Agassi is coaching Dimitrov, and we've discussed this at length, so we won't get back into that. I think Agassi might be there to assist in some way, but I do think that Agassi probably understands that tying the coach word to his name with Dimitrov is probably not in the best order of business for Agassi and his camp, right? I mean, if you're sending your kids to Agassi's camp with Steffi, and you're coaching a player that can't seem to win anything anymore, I think that would kind of hurt business, right?
I disagree with you. They don't have a camp. They have a school.
It's an academy, right?
It's a school for kids who are underprivileged. In other words, that if you are full of money, you can't get into his camp.
Oh, then I regressed there. I thought there was a tennis kind of a tennis related though.
Oops, there are technical difficulties.
I thought it was tennis related though.
No. It's a school for the underprivileged kids who also do tennis. You cannot have. In other words, if you come from a family that has enough income to pay for an academy, you cannot go to this school.
Well, I mean, we can leave economic bias out of it.
That's the whole. I watched the whole show, and they said it has to be a certain income, and that's what they said.
Fine. I get that. But let's leave out the economics of it. They're there to play tennis, right?
Sure. Well, they were saying...
I mean, come on, let's be real.
Well, Steffi and Andre were saying that there were a lot of people that were trying to get into their academy, but it doesn't work that way.
Okay, look. If I'm coaching football and at a high school, I don't care if it's on the ritzy side of town or the most derelict or rough part of town in a way, and I say that respectively. I think my job still is to win.
They're
right?
not trying. No, this is more like.
Well, I get that, but if I am running, I don't care about the economics of the school or place. That's irrelevant.
Right.
Champions are born, and we've had this discussion before. Are champions born, or do you pay money to make a champion? I think champions are born, and they find their way no matter what. I mean, look at Jordan. Look, I mean, the list goes on forever. Look at Tyson and everyone else.
I agree with you, but I don't think they made a tennis camp like Chris Evers. Not that type of
camp.
camp.
Chris Evers' camp hasn't produced anybody but what, Madison Keys? So forget about that. I didn't mean to get into all that. But all I'm saying is, if you are the head honcho at an academy or school, regardless of what the economic threshold for entrance or application is, the fact of the matter is I don't want to time myself up as the head pro or head coach with a losing student.
Sure, but it's not a tennis camp. It's called Democracy Preparatory Academy at Agassiz Camp. It's nothing to do with tennis. Yes, they have tennis in there, but it's not a tennis camp.
Then I stand corrected.
Yeah.
However, then we can just say he's a Hall of Fame tennis player, and maybe he doesn't want to look like a Hall of Fame schmuck coach.
I don't think he really cares. Even Lendl didn't care. Why would he care?
I agree. But let's look at it. What do you tell Dimitrov at this point in his career? If you, from a coaching perspective, Carla coaches, I coach. What is there anything you can tell Dimitrov at this point right now? What do you say to him at this point?
I'll let you go first.
If I was his coach, I would say take a break. I would say you need time off completely. I would say if you can afford to do so, surely he can. Again, he was top 3 in the world at one point, top 5 15 months ago, if I remember correctly. I think you said a year. I think it's been more like 15 months. But I may be wrong here.
15 months, yes.
I didn't write this down, but
15 months, you're correct.
So, yeah, a little over a year. But nonetheless, if I was coaching Dimitrov, I would say, hey, look, you're financially set, surely, unless you've made bad investments. I don't think so. Enough joking around about doing swimsuit modeling or cologne modeling for Calvin Klein or whatever. I would say, look, let's find out where you are right now as a person. Let's find out what your hunger is. Let's find out where your mind is. Take a break. I would say set the tennis rackets down. I would say go where it is that you need to go, family or beach or mountains or wherever it may be, and stay there if you can. For a month or so, distance yourself from the game, collect your thoughts, and find out if this is something that you still want to do. Because right now, this is kind of the bottom of the barrel in a sense, because he just loses to someone that's 400 in the world in a tournament that he had to, I think, request a wild card to get into.
He did request a wild card, yes.
That's kind of a tough look. So what does this mean? Is he being? I mean, has it gotten to the same situation that the young Zverev is in now? We've mentioned
different situations. No.
Well, and I agree with you. I think it is different. Zverev, we've been talking about forever. Where I have griped about Zverev only having one tool in his toolbox. One screwdriver, one tool to go out on the tennis court and win with. And if someone figures out that's all he has is a screwdriver, then he's going to lose because someone knows how to defend or play against or to turn a screwdriver into offense in a way. So Zverev has been figured out. And I read some just ridiculous...
Well, let's stick to Dimitrov and then we'll get to that.
To get to Zverev?
Yes.
I don't blame Lendl here. I don't blame Lendl.
Well, we'll get to that because then...
That's fine, but look, all I'm saying is that here in this situation, Dimitrov needs to take a break. A coach or a change of coach is not going to change the narrative here for Dimitrov. Would you call this, though, Carla, a fall from grace?
No, I don't call it.
I don't think it's a fall from grace.
No, Agassi had a fall from grace, and I disagree with you. He does not need to take a break. He is 28 years old, which means his time is running out. He's got the perfect coach, someone that knows what it is to hit rock bottom and have to fight to win again. I think that he should maybe play some challengers, talk to Agassi, sit down, which Agassi understands completely. Play some challenges just so you get some confidence matches. Sometimes that's what you need, is to win a really, really small tournament. So it sparks that fight in you, something in you, that hunger in you. If you don't play any challengers, or if you do and you lose and you still, can't get back into it, then I would take a break from tennis.
Real quick, a quick timeout right here. I don't know if she'll even see this, but two of our students, Gabriel Perkins and Alina Day, both traveled to level 1 Junior Tennis Tournament Montgomery. They both did well, so congratulations to both. Alina made a semifinal, so bravo to you. And I only thought about that because you just mentioned winning a smaller tournament is a big deal, and as well a big deal is making a semifinal of a tournament at any age, but at this level of tournament, it was a very, very, very good job. So great job to both of you guys. But Zverev...
Zverev, you mean Dimitrov.
Dimitrov, sorry. But Dimitrov needs to break and recoup.
I don't think
in my opinion.
He doesn't need to break. He needs to play smaller tournaments. Those smaller tournaments help you with confidence. He's got the perfect person next to him. He knows everything, what it is to fail, what it is to start all over. He went through challengers himself, had to win those, and finally did well enough to start winning Grand Slams. I think he has the perfect person around him. Maybe forget a little bit about the celebrity status that he has and focus more on the small tournaments.
If Dimitrov continues to lose, though, against people ranked 400 plus in the world, don't you think that that collectively that will just hurt him worse?
There's nothing wrong with retiring from tennis at a young age. We've seen many players do it. I mean, he is a millionaire. He's accomplished a lot. Just to be top 3 in the world is a lot.
We will agree to disagree here. I think personally as a coach, I would tell Dimitrov, who's still young enough to make his game come back around. I think he should take a break. I think he should take time away from the game. I think he should not even look at it.
He does that enough, Justin. That's why we see him in pictures of yachts and stuff. He does that enough.
Okay,
that's the problem.
Okay, well, just go stay on your yacht and quit.
That's the problem.
Is that what you want me to say?
No, the problem is that he takes too much time away.
No, I think he needs to take a long time away and not even practice. Just stop.
Maybe.
Just stop. This is rock bottom. What do you tell
This is not rock bottom.
What do you tell a drug addict when they're on a binge and then they need to come out with withdrawals? What are you going to tell them? Well, just go ahead and pop one more pill real quick? Or do you just say suck it up? All I'm telling
That's a bad comparison, sorry.
How is that a bad comparison?
A drug addict. You tell him to... Okay, I don't even want to go there.
All I'm telling you is this guy is at rock bottom of his tennis game. Am I right or wrong about that?
Man, 66 is really not bad. It's really not that bad.
So 15 months ago, this guy was number 5 in the world. He's been to top 3. And
the
now,
same thing's going to happen to Zverev if he doesn't win.
And continuously now gets whooped. Like, even at tournaments, he has to plead for a wild card in. And you're telling me that just telling him, you need to kind of rehab everything, your mind, your game, set it down, get away from it completely, relinquish yourself from it. If you want to call it retirement for a year, then fine. You just said retire at an early age. I'm just saying quit for a while and find out what you want to do. Okay. I don't think the best thing for him to do is to keep getting samples of his butt kicked at the local corner store tennis tournament. No disrespect to Atlanta, but Atlanta's kind of a bottom of the map tournament in a sense, at least on the grand scheme of things.
Right, it's a 250.
I mean, who do we have in the final? No disrespect, Taylor Fritz and Di Manor. So an okay final, but
yeah,
I mean,
not a bad final.
Are you going to see that final at the Rogers Cup, even with Del Potro, Roger Federer, and Novak Djokovic pulling out? Are you going to see those two in the final? Are you going to see Taylor Fritz in the final of the Rogers Cup?
We'll see maybe Nadal and somebody else. I don't know.
See? There it is.
But isn't that a 1,000? It's a little different.
He needs to take a break.
Okay.
And if I'm on team Dimitrov, I'd want to bail, first of all. But if I had any say on that team, take a break. And a long one, and find out what you want to do. Okay. That's what I would say.
Okay.
All right?
Well, let's go to Zverev since we were talking about that.
Let's go, Zverev.
So, as we know, Zverev, he lost. He was playing at Hamburg, lost to Bashvili, who he had 2 match points against. Lost. Then, I guess, before that match, he played that match, Lendo left him due to his comments that he made that Lendo concentrated more on his dog and golf. So I guess Lendo said, you know what?
On his what? On his dog?
On his dog, yeah. So he said, I had enough. See ya. We knew that was going to happen, right? I mean, someone like Lendo is not going to take that. He doesn't need to be there. I don't think he needs the money that badly. He does have an academy in Birmingham, Alabama, and a few others.
And a solid one.
And a solid one. I've seen players come out of there when I used to coach in Montgomery. There are solid players out there. So Lendo and Zverev no more. So I wonder who he's going to stick by. He does have his dad. There were 2 legends talking about him, Boris Becker and McEnroe. Boris Becker and McEnroe said that they think that people have figured out Zverev's game, just like you said, that he's too defensive, that he should come into the net more, put balls away, learn how to volley. And Zverev actually got really mad. He said, I don't think so, as well as my father and Ivan Lendl, before Ivan Lendl left him. He said, BS. I don't want to say the whole word.
That's bullshit.
Boris and McEnroe were at the net for their whole lifetime. I will not do it. It's different. So here's a young lad who's 21, I think.
22 now.
22.
Okay, whatever. Same
Here's
difference.
two legends of the game. Are they legends? Can you consider them legends?
Who? Lendl and McEnroe?
Yeah.
More than legends. Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers. And here they are, these two guys giving him advice, and he won't listen. He knows it all, and his dad knows it all, which is why he's so successful.
Look, here's a couple things right off the bat. Number one, first and foremost, if I have some kid, and I'm sorry, I got 5 of them. I don't care if you're 22. 22 to me is a kid, a kid that has no idea about life in general outside of a sport at this point. A kid, and has been raised with, believe me, I can tell you, a pretty big silver spoon in a way. Because if you were that hot as a tennis player, that young, you've had a big silver spoon. Just saying, okay, I know, been through that. But if you are going to blaspheme to the media about a grown man that's proved his Hall of Fame-ship for many, many years. I grew up watching Lendl in a sense, and the Changs, and the the list goes on. Boris Beckers and Edberg and McEnroe's, and Borg and Nastasi. These are people that I grew up watching. They're not trying to tell Zverev to go serve and volley every point. They're just saying, look, get better at the net.
They approach the net.
Approach the net. Don't be scared to get to the net. Play the net. I was raised a serve and volleyer. I still serve and volley a lot. We played a couple matches in the past couple of days experimenting with these strings, and I've served and volleyed throughout one entire one and won a set against you. I lost a match, but won a set against her until she adjusted. 6-0 serving and volleying, and then I continued to do it. She adjusted and won. All I'm trying to say is that these legends, Hall of Famers, whatever, are trying to tell this kid, experiment with it, get it back, get comfortable up there, because let's be real. This kid approaches the net, and it's all she wrote.
Well, even Djokovic knows how to approach the net and knows how to use it. There's a lot of times where I see Djokovic rallying, and all of a sudden he comes in. You need that tool. You do, because people figure you out there, and you do have to be aggressive.
Hey, my name's Zverev. I got a screwdriver. I've been playing now for multiple years on tour, and I still have this one screwdriver. Has anybody figured out my screwdriver yet? Because that's all I got in my toolbox. That's it. That's all I got. Everybody's figured out. They're trying to tell you to get another tool in your toolbox, and he says, quote, I won't do it. Shut up, man. Be a little snooty two-shoes, whatever. Go hang out with Dimitrov somewhere and get lost. I don't blame Lendl for leaving. Lendl's a grown man, and if he has to take a phone call on the court and little baby boy over here picks up him talking about his golf or his dog, just stop listening. Focus on your shot. Surely there's an assistant pro on court. The grown man's got millions to account for and has to surely take care of some personal business every now and then. I'm not taking up for Lendl, but I've played, or not me personally played, but some of our students and some of our own kids have played against kids that come out of his camp here in the same state that we live in.
They're tough.
And they're tough. Okay? Arguably just as good as this kid is now.
They're tough. I'm
just saying.
When I used to see the bus come and the kids get dropped off to practice, and I used to watch them, I was like, wow. From all ages.
So all I can say to Zverev here with my rant aside is to grow up a little bit, dude. You've been figured out.
And McEnroe said that. They figured out your game. He said that. They figured out your game.
So, look, Zverev, we'll move the torch here. But
and he even said, even Federer changes his game. Changed his game from 5 years ago. Everybody has to change. Djokovic has changed. Djokovic is not the same player he was when he started on the tour. He's a different player, and he keeps improving. Nadal does the same thing. That's why these guys stay in the top 3, because they adjust. They know, they recognize that they still have to improve things.
Yeah.
So if here's a 22-year-old kid who's telling these guys shut up, basically.
Yeah. So I've never. The other night I was enlightened on what the word meme. I didn't even know what a meme was. That goes to tell you, if you try to get up with us on these social media platforms, it's generally her. I never heard of a meme. I guess I'd heard the word, but I didn't know what it is. But now that I know what it is, I think if I had a meme made for this kid, Zverev, I'd put like a whiny baby in his playpen at like 3 going, wah, wah, and then put Zverev on top. I mean, that's where I'm at with this kid. For me, I'd rather have Bernard Tomic on my team than this kid at this point in time. He's just a crybaby. You want to knock a grown man? If it were me, I'd probably knock him out. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. But I'm just saying. But can you blame Lindell for this kid telling the world this guy's on court talking about his dog in golf?
He should have never said that.
Hey, homeboy, you got kids? You got a camp to run anywhere? You got have you won?
Doesn't Lindell have a daughter in a pro tour?
Yeah,
golf tour.
Yeah, have you young Zverev? Do you have kids? Do you have a wife as tough as this young lady? I'm just kidding.
By the way, he said he bageled me. Yeah, I bageled him back in 1 and 2 sets. By the way.
Then I won 6-1, 6-1 yesterday. So I'm up 2 matches to 1 for the past 3.
You went 2 days ago, and my foot was hurt, and I had to go play tennis because he forced me to go play tennis when I didn't want to. And I told him my foot is in a lot of pain.
Look, no one cares about.
Anyways, just saying, I bageled him back, so we're even.
Oh, yeah, we got even. We even out there, but I did win 6-1, 6-1 yesterday.
That doesn't even count.
But so when I win, her foot matters. But when she wins, my knee doesn't matter. I lose to you and my knee matters, or my knee doesn't matter. But then I beat you and then your foot matters.
You know what? Men and women are different, and that's
Venus,
just
Mars. Let's go.
They're just different, but we're better. So, anyways, go ahead.
All right, I got lost in that because when you talk about...
Well, we were done talking about Zverev, so on to the next subject.
Topic number 2. Even though it's a clay tournament that just transpired, and that was in Hamburg, and I think this tournament in Hamburg has been around for like nearly 100 years.
Yes.
So surely the clay court regression has nothing to do with the current setup. It's probably been around longer than before. So I jokingly said at the beginning of the video we regressed back into clay. But based upon the longevity of this tournament, I think maybe it was still in play long before the current shift of the Australian and the U.S.
It's the way the schedule fits. I know some of you view, I think B-Dog and Wayne Chia, and there was somebody else who said, why put so much energy into this? Well, I looked at the tournament, and I saw that Federer's won this tournament. I saw Nadal's won this tournament. So there's been a lot of top players who won this tournament.
Yeah, well, again, this is going to be a quick topic because we've gone really deep here. I think we're probably at almost 30 minutes because we had the technical difficulty and then 20 already, so we're pushing it. But here's my thought on topic number 2, is that even though it's a clay tournament, and this is a pre-US Open run-up and hard court season discussion, Nicolas Basilashvili, one of my favorite players on tour currently, not because of his game. I'm not saying he has the most bright game I've ever seen, but from his ability to fight. Another player that reminds me in a way of Basilashvili is Borna Coric. Okay? But Basilashvili won today over 3 sets against Andrei Rublev, the Russian, in Hamburg. So here's my question. Does anyone agree or disagree with me? Okay, this is a question we're going to move on. And this is a fantasy team teaser. So if you are going to be playing fantasy teams with us, moving into the U.S. Open for the YTEX shirt or strings or the 5K tennis shirt, this is a fantasy team teaser. I'm going to ask a question. You can answer it. I'm asking the question, so I believe in it, and then we're going to move forward. Cool?
Okay,
yeah. Does anyone agree with me that Nicolas Basilashvili or Borna Coric are types of players that can make some deep runs at the U.S. Open?
I would agree with that. Yes, I think I would give Basilashvili more of a deeper run than Coric, I think.
I give them a dead even run. I don't think that Rafael Nadal, I didn't mention Federer or Djokovic. I think on this surface, Federer and Djokovic are at a slightly higher level, and I may be wrong, but this isn't 2000. This isn't 2010 Nadal anymore. When he came out all ripped up.
Of course, I'm a Nadal fan, bigger than the other guys, but I would have to agree with that. I think the U.S. Open is tougher for him, a lot tougher. Yeah. He's a lot more beatable at this Grand Slam than any other.
Again, I would give this.
But you never know. You just never know.
Here's my proclamation. I think not her. I'm probably gonna get laughed at for this one, but I think that one of these two men, Borna Coric or Nicolas Basilashvili, one of the two, not both, but one of the two will do better than Rafael Nadal at the U.S. Open.
Disagree.
We'll see. Topic number 3, and this is kind of a comical title, but we'll roll with it. Topic number 3 is or the rise of Bernard Tomic 4.0, or a really bad loss for the American Frances Tiafoe in Atlanta.
I think it's a bad loss for Frances Tiafoe. Ever since the Australian Open, he's never been the same. He did really good at the Australian Open, and it's just been a lot of first-round losses for him. Obviously, Tomic, he retired in his last match against Rublev, right? Was it Rublev?
And Rublev made
No, was it Rublev? No, I'm sorry, wrong tournament. It was Atlanta Open. De Minaur, I think, was his opponent.
Was it De Minaur?
I'll find out right now.
So I bring up Bernard Tomic for a couple of reasons. One is Bernard Tomic actually can be a solid...
De Minaur. He retired. He was down 6-2, and then was down 3-0 and retired. Bernard
Tomic can actually be, and I said this 8-9 years ago, but Bernard Tomic is not a bad tennis player. He can actually play the game when he wants to. By the way, I think Bernard Tomic was, and I know Bernard Tomic was stripped of his somewhere around $60,000 or $80,000 in American money for lack of performance at Wimbledon. I know he tried to appeal that, and he was denied his money back. And sometimes I think that is way too extreme because no one knows what goes on inside of a player's head on court. I know as fans, if you're a fan and haven't played the game or haven't been around it your entire life, you know, sometimes we go out. Look,
I agree with you. I lost 6-1, 6-1. My foot was bad. Mentally, I was out.
What, when you played me?
Yeah, and I agree with you. The set just flew like this. There was nothing I can do. I was in pain. I couldn't think. I was trying to drag myself out of that just depression that my leg was that way, and I couldn't do anything. And the sets just flew. So can it happen? Yes, it can happen.
Yeah, it can happen.
And it looks like you're not trying, but you really are, but you just can't quite get there.
Yeah, I mean, you're still there. You're still doing whatever you can do. And who is to say that this person, this umpire, or this panel, or this board, commissioners, whatever, jumped inside this guy's head and said he wasn't trying? I mean, come on.
But you know what? There is a story, the boy who cried wolf, and many times this guy has behaved bad. Bernard Tomic has been bad, so they probably got tired of it and made an example of him.
Yeah, again, I'm not a supporter of Tomic's behavior and endeavors, even his father's over the years. Okay, but I remember Bernard Tomic when he was coming out of juniors in a way. And look, he's not a bad dude. I think he has some energy vibes he needs to handle and has always had that. And I think you can bring his family into that. I'm not talking about anyone's family, but his father had some issues on and off court with him as well, and we get that feeling. But sometimes if you have a turbulent kind of court experience, it kind of stays turbulent throughout. But Bernard Tomic is not a bad guy at all. I think that Frances Tiafoe had a really bad loss here. Again, we've talked about the robotics of Tiafoe's game on this show a lot. He's so jerky. He's so robotic. Yeah, I mean...
So mechanical.
You know,
even the backhand's even the service, like...
Yeah, and even when he rips his shirt off, you know, acting like LeBron James, I don't...
It's like...
He's like...
It's so tight.
He
needs to learn flexibility.
Yeah, so again, I don't think this is a rise of Bernard Tomic. I was joking about that. I do wish him the best, and I wish Tiafoe the best as well. This was a really bad loss for what is the potential future for American tennis. We have the nearly 7 foot Opelka that beat Isner again
for the third time in a row
with another nail biter, 6-7, 7-6, 7-6, whatever. I fell asleep during.
What was the score?
It was 7-6, 6-7, 7-6. It has to have been. I knew they played. I knew Opelka won, but I don't know the score. But I'm guessing it was 7-6, 6-7, 7-6. I'm sure it was. If not, I'll do
7-6, 7-6, 7-6. 7-6, 6-7, 7-6.
Anyway. You can't say that Opelka is the future of American tennis because he's too tall. He can't move around on other surfaces where it counts. If he doesn't get his serve in, then he's in trouble returning most of the time in a way. But Tiafoe is one of those, you know, wasn't he the next gen conversation not terribly long ago? So to lose to Tomic, not a bad, not disrespectable, but in Atlanta on your home turf, bad look. Topic number 4. Juan Martín del Potro, as we know, is recuperating from a knee injury. We all like him a lot here at 5K Tennis. I'm sure a lot of you do as well. We know, though, that he is not playing in the Rogers Cup in Canada, and we know now that Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer have removed themselves from the next ATP 1000.
Probably really smart for them.
Smart
for them.
Smart for them to do. Smart for them to do. Let's take a break.
Smart at that age. Gosh, you got nothing to prove. You really don't need the money to win. I know Nadal will be the top seed. He probably needs more hard courts under his belt since this is tougher for him. So I think Djokovic and Federer did the right thing by not playing it.
I still don't think even Nadal playing this tournament, I still don't think
he's not going to give 100%.
He's not going to give 100%.
Why would you?
If he gets tested by a Borna Coric or a Basilashvili early, I don't think he's going to dive on the court and risk any injury. I think he'll probably just end up shaking hands at the net and not worry about it, right? And go back to his new 70 million. Anyway, he'll be good to go. Real quickly, mentioning Djokovic, Novak Djokovic, I read, and I think I mentioned it to you earlier, but I read an article that actually had a lot to do with Novak Djokovic's father, and this is respectable. But Novak Djokovic's father, and I'm sorry I didn't get his name, stated that since 2009, that Novak Djokovic has consistently been the best player in the world and not Roger Federer. I agree with that.
I agree too.
I look, the last two U.S. Opens, Roger Federer won. I was there in person both times. 07 and 08, we've talked about this before. I think at 09 he lost to Del Potro just after that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I do agree, and one of those finals was playing Djokovic, and that was 07. But I do agree with Djokovic's father here that he has been the best player on tour since roughly the 2009 area.
I can't pronounce his dad's name, but it's Surgeon.
Surgeon. So I don't know, but okay. Anyway, we're gonna run out of time. But I know that Rafael Nadal had a really good year in 2010, so his time frame there was a little off. I think Djokovic has been the best player since 2011 because we can't
2011 he was solid, yeah.
Yeah, because I think in 2010 Rafael Nadal won three majors. I think he won French, Wimbledon, and the U.S. I may have that wrong. I didn't write that.
Yes.
But I do agree that Novak Djokovic has been the best player in the world, pound for pound, since that point in time. Agree totally. Okay.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that either.
So yes, this is a record breaker here. CARLA just agreed with that. We all know that CARLA is a #1 Nadal fan, okay? But CARLA takes an incredible amount of heat from a lot of you for simply speaking her mind on her own show. I'm going to go check the video real quick because I don't want to lose this, okay? So Carla catches a lot of grief for simply voicing her opinion on her own show, and it's kind of hurtful at times. And let me just reiterate, or not reiterate.
No, it's not hurtful to me because you guys are not hurting me. I think it's very disrespectful the way some of the men Djokovic fans think.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not hurting me. Trust me.
Yeah, sometimes she stays privy to these comments because there's people that all over the world that watch this, and if something comes up on comments at 3 in the morning and we don't catch it till 8 in the morning or 6 when we wake up, then we don't want to associate this channel with garbage or trash or negative energy or just schmucks. So she tries to stay privy of that. But here's the question that is just odd to me. I myself have been around this. I was born into the game. Carla has played it since she was a little bitty child. Her father plays the game. My father plays the game. My father's father played the game. All of them coach. We all coach. I've never in my life being around this game taken heat for not necessarily not liking one person as like my all-seeing eye. So it's almost insanity to me as a coach and a player and a student of the game to disrespect anyone just because they don't like the same player that you like. This is exactly what we don't want here at all. This is a show about tennis, about respecting people, about fitness, about friendships, about smack talk. Yes,
you can smack talk.
Smack talk all
we
you
can
want.
agree. There's many of you guys that we talk back and forth, and we have great chats that love Djokovic, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I always tell you guys, we are all different. We can't all love the same people. I mean, before Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, we had other players that we loved, and that's just how it is. I didn't become a Federer fan till like after I met you, and it took me a couple of years. I would make fun of him a lot. So I respect Djokovic as a player. I'm not his fan. You guys know that. He is the greatest right now. He's had the best record. But, you know, sometimes these guy Djokovic fans overseas say some nasty things, and it makes me think, how do they treat women?
Yeah, the other day she was teaching a lesson, and I paused to drink water, and I pulled up the phone just because there was a couple of comments there. And someone, and we'll just leave it at that, and I won't say the exact words, was calling CARLA this fat animal blank, and she should go blank blank. Another.
Oh, I didn't read it. No.
Another, because we don't even need to repeat it.
Well, you shouldn't even use the player's name, because I'm sure that player doesn't talk like that.
But what happens is when you do this, when you're such a biased fan and have no sense of idea that all these men and women that play this game are all on the same playing field, it makes you actually look kind of stupid. Like, you're supposedly being this guy's #1 fan, but yet you're calling her like a trailer trash whore or something that should go sleep with cows and worse.
That stuff doesn't hurt me. I just think it makes you dumb.
But as a dude, if you look, I'm not a fighter, but if you ever said something like that to my wife in front of me, I can guarantee you I'd be going to jail and you'd have some teeth missing, and that's a fact, and I wouldn't ask questions. Disagree with that, CARLA?
No, I do that. You wouldn't even have to do that.
Let's say I've been threatened by a couple of men in my life over you. Have I ever backed down?
No.
Didn't think so.
I just think it's cowardly. Anybody can type anything on the computer.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Look.
It doesn't hurt me. I just think it's sad. I've never had a Federer fan, Nadal fan, or any other fan talk to me the way that a lot of Djokovic fans do.
Yeah, she's just voicing
Never have I had a. Never.
Yeah, this is a tennis show. This is about everyone, and smack talk is my forte. I love it. But I would never smack talk in a sense someone that's simply just voicing their opinion. That's why we debate. So I'm going to reiterate a couple of things. We like, CARLA and I, many people from back the days of the Four Horsemen: Lacoste, Fred Perry, Bill Tilden, Don Budge. Fast forward to the middle era, the McEnroes, the Nastasis, the Beckers, the Edbergs, the Samprases. Oh man, go over to the women's side and we can get into Althea Gibson back in the day and her equal rights movements, which was beautiful. We can get into the Arthur Ashes. We can get, oh my goodness. And I have a feeling that these people that blaspheme her have no idea about anything about this game.
You just watch it, that's it.
I'll reiterate these things and we're going to move forward. This is a tennis show, #1. Our definition of tennis is the sport of fitness, fun, and friendships. Period. Negativity. Bye-bye. #1. #2, this is not a Novak Djokovic show. I like the guy. She's not the biggest fan, but that's okay. That's her opinion, and she's always stated it professionally. I think, again, Djokovic will win the U.S. Open, and I think she just said that he probably will too. So let's be real here, okay? This is not a Novak Djokovic show. This is a tennis show. I have seen, and we have seen, shows on YouTube that cater to, they jump on this Djokovic bandwagon because he's #1 in the world, and that's how they get views and get 5,000.
Good for them.
They get 5,000 subscribers, and their show's junk anyway. That's fine. That's not what we do. This is a hobby. Period. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, so be it. We'll just go on with life, right? This isn't a job for us. It's a hobby. Deal with it or just don't. But this is not a Novak Djokovic show, and it's not a Federer show, and it's not a Nadal show. This is a tennis show, and we're going to talk about everyone equally, smack talk or not. We won't cater our shows to feed into the current trending stuff. In other words, if Djokovic just won the U.S. Open, our next title isn't going to be, oh, Djokovic is the GOAT. If Federer did it, we wouldn't put it would be about the game. And that's what we are here for. What you see is what you get, but knocking on her, it's pretty stupid if you're a fan.
If Djokovic passes Federer, then he will be the GOAT.
I agree.
So, yeah.
Okay. I do agree with Novak Djokovic's father in this article that Novak Djokovic has a really solid chance of surpassing Roger Federer's 20 slams by the year 2020. I think it can definitely happen. The only thing that worries me, and I state this as fact, and you can thumbs down it, that everyone's gotten so good at when we talk about Novak Djokovic, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. You saw it, you gave a thumbs down. I got what I wanted out of it. So anyway, ultimately...
Hey, like someone said, sissy pops. Who? Hey,
yeah,
you watched it.
Whatever. So. Only thing I worry about with Novak Djokovic is his off-the-court stuff. And I'm not going to talk about his family, nor do I care necessarily. I hope he does give up a really lights out next few years and passes. That'd be great. Good history and good sports, right? But I do worry about can he keep his head cool? You know, sometimes during matches, you know, he's shaking his bottle and yelling at his box. You know, like his wife's up there and he's like, ah. I could never imagine yelling at my family or wife or anybody that way.
I would have thrown a racket at you if you would have done that.
Carla
would have been like,
Carla would have beat me with the racket.
No way.
I don't feel that way about anyone in life. It's not my business. But when you're watching a match on TV and all you see is this guy asking for his pain medication and shaking bottles and screaming like this at his same box or whoever's up there and your wife is right there, I just have a problem with that. And you can dog cuss me about that as well, but I would never treat my box.
You wouldn't see it happen.
I would never treat my box that way. Never in a million years would never do it. And that is my only reason why I'm not the biggest Djokovic fan, but I am. So maybe you should hate the media for that and not us. Just saying. All right? Negativity and nastiness is not for us here, so do it if you wish, but we won't really pay much attention to it. What you see is what you get. Let's roll. All right, so last topic. We're doing pretty good.
50.
Oh, Kuznetsova. We have one last topic. Kuznetsova having to fight for a visa to get to the D.C. Open in Washington. The City Open in Washington D.C. Now,
she was not able to defend her title because they didn't give her the visa. But she said, "I've never had an issue getting a visa before to play tournaments in the USA." But the Russian embassy actually in the U.S. sent a note to protest to the Department of State demanding that they cease the discriminatory policy of refusing visas to Russian participants in international events. So yeah, I guess she got the notice too late and she wasn't able to defend her title.
First of all, well, we won't get into political turmoil because, geez, you can get that elsewhere. However, it's no secret that there has been a lot of ill will towards Russian athletes participating at a lot of different things since I think there were some ventures into some different territories and stuff, and we won't get into geopolitical stuff, but there's always been some tension there since long before we were born, World War I, World War II, Cold War. There's been a lot of issues there back and forth, especially if the tournament is in D.C. Now, is this subpar professionalism? Absolutely. Absolutely. Tennis is supposed to be a global sport and a global language that's for everyone, which reduces borders. And I don't know I don't know the ins and outs of what happened here, but I will say one thing, that in 2007 at the U.S. Open, Svetlana Kuznetsova was in the final against Justine Henin.
She won in 2004.
I think Svetlana Kuznetsova played Justine Henin in the 2007 Wimbledon final. I was there, but I can't remember where Serena lost that year. I think Henin beat Serena. I was there to string, so I was kind of jumping back on and off court a lot. But I think Kuznetsova lost to Henin in the final because I remember I was having to sit high up because we didn't have the credentials to get low. Is that right? 2007 U.S. Open final?
Yes, 2007. She beat Kuznetsova pretty handily.
Yeah,
1-3.
So Henin beat Kuznetsova, yeah. So that's what I thought. Kuznetsova is a fine athlete.
She's close to her retirement, so I mean, too bad she couldn't play this tournament.
She grunts a little loud, but that's okay.
I
like Kuznetsova a lot, and I think it's subpar professionalism. If there is any political strife involved on Kuznetsova's ability to get the visa.
Visa, yes.
So I like Svetlana a lot, and I hope that she ends up in D.C. Is she out?
She could not. No, she didn't go.
Yeah, I think that, and she's the reigning champion, right?
Yeah.
So she won it last year and now has an issue getting in. Right. I don't know. Blame the politicians, whatever. I like the girl. Too bad she's not here because she's a great athlete, great person, and a great player. And she's a Hall of Fame tennis player, in my opinion.
2 Grand Slams, yeah.
All right, last part of the show, 12 rapid-fire questions. If you're new to this channel, I get this has been kind of a lively up-and-down show, but I'm sorry, I had to vent about what people call my wife. I get it's a show, and you don't care if she's my wife or not. Let's say she's not my wife. She's a female. And man, that's just stupid, okay? If you're a dude and have to talk trash to a female, you're just a sucker. Just saying. A buster. Weak. Whack. Weak. Really weak.
All right, let's get on. Come on.
Carla probably beat your butt anyway. Like with her hands and not just the tennis racket. Probably both. She probably beat you up, then smacked you with a tennis racket.
Come on.
It just gets me amped up. It's so stupid.
All right.
People should be better than that. Oh, I forgot. It's 2019 and people are cowards behind their keyboards. That's why I don't get on it too much. All right, 12 rapid-fire questions. I'm going to ask 12 rapid-fire questions. You must answer immediately. When you answer, just type them in. Carla always looks at the answers. Don't think about it too much. Just answer them as we go. Carla has not seen these questions, so look at the camera. I'll read them and answer them quickly. You ready?
Let's go.
12 rapid-fire questions. Question number 1. Who has the better shot at rekindling or regrouping their career? The young Sasha Zverev or Grigor Dimitrov?
Zverev.
I'm going to go with Dimitrov here.
Okay.
It's hard to get a bratty kid out of the bratty kid. Okay. Question number 2. As of right now, who would you assume will have the better career when all is said and done? A. Coco Gauff. B. Bianca Andreescu. C. Amanda Anisimova. Or D. Felix Auger-Aliassime.
I'll go with D. Felix Auger-Aliassime.
I'm going to go with A. Coco Gauff.
Okay. I just don't know. It's too young. I couldn't decide between the 3 girls because it's too early.
Question number 3. Hold on. Technical difficulty. All right, technical difficulties. Hey, when you have little ones and the older ones are gone, sometimes you have to kind of roll with the blows. You have to kind of roll with the blows. Kids' difficulties. Question number 3. I love boxing. Alas, or unfortunately, a couple fighters have recently been killed during matches or after their matches. Here's the question. Is it time to do something, or is it just part of the sport that has been happening for hundreds of years?
Part of the sport.
Part of the sport.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard theories where you can,
It's part of the sport.
Here's the thing. You know, some people are saying, well, if the fighter's going 12 rounds and then the fighter won the first 8 rounds substantially, then just call the fight because there's no way the other person can win. Well, yes, there is. That person can finally just land one.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's
like football. I mean,
it's part of the sport.
MMA, there's a lot of things.
Not fun of the violence, but definitely fun of the sport.
Yeah.
Question number 4. I love sharks a lot. Sharks, like in the sea, like sharks. Sharks. You know? I love sharks. Only not when I'm surfing. I love to surf. If I see a shark when I'm surfing, I'm out of the water. However, Shark Week starts tonight. Will anyone watch any of it?
No.
I will. I'll watch
I love sharks too, but no.
I'll watch some of it.
All right.
Question number 5. After the U.S. Open, do you really keep up with the ATP and WTA tours as much as you did before it?
I'll be honest, no. I think you guys know that already from last year.
Football starts. Let's go, 49ers. Let's go. Come on.
I kind of cry when the U.S. Open's over.
Let's go, 49ers. Big things this year. What's up, Garoppolo? Let's get down.
All right, let's go.
Question number 6. Speaking of football, who is your favorite NFL football team?
The Giants. You know that.
49ers. Question number 7. I think B-Dog's a Patriots fan.
Yeah, I like the Patriots too.
Question number 7. What is the one age that you wish you could stay or be for the rest of your life?
Yeah, say 11.
Oh, I'm going to go 40. I like 40. 40's big deal. I'm doing big things.
I'm not there yet. I'll be there in a few weeks.
Feel confident.
But you're 41, so.
You know, I'm trying to cheat a year, but
41.
still enjoying it, though.
42.
Question number 8. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how important is your tennis racket string choice and setup when it comes to your tennis game?
Before I met you, I didn't care. Now it's a 10.
It's definitely a 10. Let us know, by the way, if you ever have questions about stringing or tennis strings, what good tensions are and why it's important, or what they are made out of, or what their shape may be. Let us know. We have a fun time with that too. Go YTEX Strings. Obviously, that wasn't a pitch for YTEX Strings at all, but it is very important.
Strings are important. They just are.
Yeah, it is very important, and more importantly, it's important that people get to know you in business, and YTEX is the first company that has ever gotten to know me as a player, and therefore recommended me strings from the get-go, and that's been a while ago. So I believe in a company that wants to get to know the player before they sell you something, because that's important. But strings, very important, a 10. If you have stringing questions, let me know. Question number 9. It's a rare day today, and I really feel like eating something sweet. What do you get?
A mango.
I get Reese's Pieces Peanut Butter Cup,
I wasn't thinking
which only happens once a year, generally on my birthday.
I can't do that for my
and someone else gives it to me. But I'm going to go with Reese's Pieces Peanut Butter Cup or licorice. You're going with a mango.
Mango, or one of those Spanish mango spicy lollipops.
those are kind of funky with.
Oh, I love
they got
that.
like they got.
I love it. It has got like spicy.
It's like a mango.
I think Rahesh knows they have similar candies. You know.
Yeah,
where it comes from.
it's like a piece of mango, candied mango, topped with like Tabasco sauce or something.
Oh, it's good.
But look, we get mangoes every day. How would that be a rare day for you? If it
No,
was
we don't get mangoes every day.
Well, often.
No, we don't. Not good ones. You know, everything's shipped, so.
That wasn't a great response. We get mangoes.
I said
all
mango
the time.
candies. Let's go.
Okay, mango candy. Question number 10. True or false? True or false? None of the big three, and that means Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, will win the French Open this year.
French Open?
The U.S. Open. Did I say French?
You said French.
Sorry. Okay, repeat that. True or false? None of the big three, that means Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, or Roger Federer, will win the U.S. Open this year.
False. One of them will win.
Yeah, I think one of them will win it too. Question number 11. Agree or disagree? I am thinking that Novak Djokovic has a solid chance of passing Roger Federer's 20 majors, but not Rafael Nadal.
He has a better chance.
Who?
Novak than Rafael Nadal. Yes.
So the answer is true.
True, yeah.
All right. Question number 12. Outside of tennis, when I see this athlete perform, I stop to watch.
Michael Phelps.
But he's not active right now.
Oh,
He's
an active athlete in any sport?
Any sport outside of tennis that you currently...
LeBron James. I have to always watch
LeBron?
him.
Okay.
Yes. Amazing. His stature, his strength. I mean, it's just amazing what he does.
Yeah, I can't go LeBron because I grew up on Jordan. Jordan was like my man.
I grew up on Jordan too, but when I watched LeBron, the way he's built and what he did with the Cavaliers, amazing.
I don't think it was that amazing because I watched Jordan
Anyways,
every time.
next question.
So my athletes would be Tom Brady. Okay, Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's another one you got to stop for.
Floyd Mayweather.
Not really.
And don't forget about the Bama boy from T-Town, Tuscaloosa. What's up? Deontay Wilder, another boxer. I watch these guys.
Yeah, he was impressive. Yeah.
Bonus question, and this is a big one. Here we go. And I'm sure the comments have already started by the time all of you get here. So here's my bonus question to boot. And I thought about this before. Here we go. Everyone in CARLA especially. How much time will go by after downloading the show until we are removing negative comments? Like
about 25, because that's when we talked about Novak.
So we'll start reading comments at about
25
at the beginning.
25, yeah.
All right. So look, if you're going to leave comments about CARLA and you say she's a huge heifer cow, or that,
well, I'm definitely not, but thank you.
Or that she doesn't know anything about the game and she needs to go sleep with something coming out of a ditch somewhere. Believe me, you are wrong, and unfortunately.
Well, I don't really care, but anyways.
Anyway, but we've heard a lot, so come up with something original.
Yeah.
I mean, no one will see it for very long, so we'll delete it. But come up with something more original than she's a beep bleep 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 bleep, and you don't know what you're bleep 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 doing because we've heard it all.
You sound like the Roadrunner? Was it the Roadrunner? Beep beep.
Yeah.
Beep beep beep.
All right, that's it, everyone. Much love. Thanks so much to Ivor Savage, the owner, president, and CEO of YTEX STRINGS, for these prize giveaways. They're very important to all of us. It makes it a lot more fun when it comes to fantasy team selections. Hopefully, CARLA's dad, Nathan, will be back on the show soon. If you're out there, Nathan, surely you are. What's up? Seat number 3 is going to come back for you soon. Thanks so much to all of you. Without you, there is no us, but just spare us on the bleep, 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 bleep. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Our goal for the end of the year is 1,000 subscribers, and we'll go from there. And that's it. And as CARLA always says,
Adios.
Adios. Take care. I got to stop the camera because the children's is gone.
Okay.
All right. See you later.